Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the November 19th edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Nadine Mazer. I'll tell you what stinks about a potential transfer station in our area.
I'm Chris Neal, and I'll let you know why a major construction project is building tension among local residents.
In sports, Tyler Zeller took a nasty spill at the men's game. Will he be back?
Weathercaster John Boyer is here to tell us if we can expect any more November flurries.
All that, and check out a homecoming king who evokes memories of the movie Risky Business. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
You've heard of NIMBY, or Not in My Backyard. Some Chapel Hill and Orange County residents are expressing that concern tonight.
But they're going to have to wait 3 weeks before they find out where a new waste transfer station will go. Reporter Nadine Mazer is in the studio. She has the story. Nadine, can you explain to us what a waste transfer station is and why people are mad about it?
Jason, a waste transfer station is like a warehouse that stores trash until the next 18-wheeler picks it up and takes it away. People just don't want this trash facility near their homes.
Orange County residents filled McDougal Elementary School's cafeteria in an effort to get their voices heard. Nearly 100 residents signed up to speak before the Board of County Commissioners about the proposed waste transfer station. One resident wasn't sure how the meeting would go.
What I know is that it's better to be heard than not.
But the diverse community came to a consensus: reconsider the waste station. Residents from Chapel Hill, Carrboro, Durham, and even the mayor of Hillsborough came to present their thoughts within a 3-minute time limit. Barry Jacobs felt the discussion was beneficial.
I think it's good to re-examine your assumptions.
Consultants presented waste transfer graphics and data. They hoped that presenting the need for the facility and site search process would ease concerns. Yet residents asked that the decision about selecting the site for a new trash transfer station be delayed for at least 90 days.
I don't see why 90 days is a magic period of time.
Jacobs explained that time is precious. The landfill is expected to reach capacity by 2011, and the county has 125,000 people to serve. But residents think the transfer station isn't the solution either. Many said it's like the county is putting a toilet seat in the middle of their living room. Jacobs begs to differ.
It's not a landfill. It's not a cesspool. It's a building. It's a building that you wouldn't want to live next to. That is true, but it's not a toilet.
Bottom line is, local residents aren't buying those arguments.
Now, Nadine, besides residents not wanting the building, what are some other concerns?
Well, Jason, they're worried about traffic problems, gas emissions, and a possible tax increase. But all they can do is wait until the December 11th meeting, and even then, they may not have their answer.
I'm sure many people are anxious for that answer. Nadine Mazer in the studio. Thanks, Nadine.
Following 2 pedestrian deaths in Chapel Hill within the last 4 months, officials are taking steps to ensure your safety. The intersection at Columbia and Cameron is undergoing a change to improve pedestrian safety at the crosswalk. When the construction is done, improved traffic signals will be in effect. Cars from every direction will come to a full stop so people at every corner can cross at the same time. The change is on a trial basis and construction will be completed tomorrow. A major construction project is building controversy within the Chapel Hill community and here on campus. Chris Neal joins us from the newsroom to tell us more. Chris?
That's right, Carly. Lots of UNC students and local residents are uncomfortable with the idea of a 10-story building in their neighborhood. The $30 million Greenbridge development project has many residents of Chapel Hill's historic Northside community disturbed. Neighbors are worried that such a massive construction effort will have negative effects on them. The campus group UNC Now has gotten involved in the cause.
Other businesses and other developers are moving in, and that people are worried that within 5 years, the community might not exist as it has.
The group held an open forum on campus recently to discuss several issues surrounding the project. Students, members of the community, as well as Greenbridge developers were in attendance.
We seem to be somewhat of a lightning rod, and that all the anger associated with the changes that are going on, which are real, are somehow being pointed to us.
If community is much more than just physical space and money, then it doesn't work, because it's not actually enriching people that have lived there forever. It's not really building on the long history of communities.
The Greenbridge project stresses environmental sustainability, but many feel the project doesn't account for the sustainability of the current community.
It's a very painful thing for a lot of people in the community. It's a lot of pain for people who have lived here, grown up here their entire life, and we're trying to make sure that isn't pushed down and not heard.
Even members of churches and other local organizations are coming together to state concerns about this building.
Chris, why are residents in a green-minded community so opposed to this project regardless of the builder's sustainability efforts?
Well, property taxes have increased and many neighbors are scared that will continue and price them out of their own neighborhood.
That's Chris Neal reporting from the newsroom. Thank you, Chris.
Construction on campus is one of the concerns tonight when it comes to the university system's budget. One thing we know, there will be cuts. Just where it is still up in the air. Placing a hold on construction projects would help the individual schools meet the governor's request for a 5% budget cut. One place university officials hope to protect is the classroom throughout the 16-campus system. Some schools are considering a hiring freeze, including faculty. University resources is another concern. Upgrades to the campus libraries, for example, could be affected at UNC. So, Carly, have you seen a monk making butter sculptures before?
I hadn't, not until today, and we'll show you what these sculptures mean to Himalayan culture and to Buddhist tradition.
Pants, pants, pants. I am folding the pants. The pants are long. Do they go on my head? Do they? Do the pants go on my head? No. They go on.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
Honey, the credit fairy doesn't exist.
What?
It's make-believe. Nobody left anything under your pillow.
If there's no credit fairy, then we'll make our credit score go up.
We will, by doing things like paying our bills on time.
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
What?
When you open a book, you can explore new lands, make new friends, and discover new adventures. There are amazing possibilities when you open your mind to reading. Explore new worlds. Read.
As part of International Education Week, UNC students are learning a lot about other cultures. But would you ever guess that this intricately detailed sculpture is made of oatmeal and decorated with butter? Talk about the freshman 15. Butter sculptures like this are an ancient Buddhist art dating back to the 15th century. They're illustrations of Buddhist philosophy or way of existence and are made with ingredients that aren't easy to handle, therefore requiring a lot of concentration and patience. This unique art form takes years to perfect and hours to perform. Butter sculpting is usually reserved for monks within the monastery, but now public displays educate others about the Himalayan culture it derives from, a culture that's disintegrating because of a changing world.
It's important to share it and preserve it, pass it down to the younger generation. So this is one small part to share the butter sculpture.
Monks learn butter carving through an apprenticeship, and the art form can take up to 10 years to perfect.
Now here's a great way to see the world. Join the U.S. Peace Corps. Representatives say it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Peace Corps Africa Regional Director Henry McCoy spoke to students and faculty at the Global FedEx building Tuesday about the importance of giving back to the global community. Some UNC students and faculty shared their past experiences in helping to rebuild countries' educational systems and fight HIV/AIDS problems in developing countries. McCoy was here to recruit North Carolina students to consider a future in the Peace Corps. Since the Peace Corps' inception, UNC has sent 1,012 volunteers, ranking number 25 among universities nationwide. The Peace Corps involves a 2-year commitment, and the Corps needs people in education, agriculture, ecotourism, and healthcare.
People look to Americans for assistance and guidance and hope and help. Americans are hopeful people. They believe that there is going to be a tomorrow.
Our 35th President John F. Kennedy founded the Peace Corps in 1961.
You can also help people in other countries just by sitting in front of your own computer. Familiar names like former President Bill Clinton says it's legit. The website kiva.org allows individuals to lend money to entrepreneurs in the developing world, people who would otherwise have a hard time financing their businesses. All it takes is a login name and a bank account to start making loans. At UNC, members of Carolina Microfinance Initiative have already hosted 2 Kiva dinners. All proceeds go to micro entrepreneurs around the world.
And it makes me believe that I'm making a difference in my own life and in the lives of others, a sustainable and practical difference.
Wiring funds to field partners does create some risks. Kiva labels each international partner on a high to low risk scale to help lenders make good choices.
And if you're looking for another way to connect globally, check out S4SI, a student-run group on campus helping people around the world.
So Students for Students International, we're a federally recognized nonprofit that sends girls to school in Tanzania for high school and college. And these are sort of amazing, outstanding girls who are scoring at the top of national exams in their country, but don't have the means to go beyond 8th grade. We sort of give them that push financially to sort of set them on the path for success.
We got the chance to interview the girls and decide which girls would get the scholarship for this year, as well as meet the other 25 girls that already had received the scholarship. And that was just unbelievable. It was so cool to tell them and see their responses. Like, they'd scream or like fall over. You could just tell it's gonna help them so much.
To realize like it's only $295 a year to educate someone, it's just sort of like puts in perspective like what we take for granted and really makes you think about like sort of like how you live your life, how you can help others, and like what sort of is really important.
If you'd like to learn more about how to get involved with S4SI, you can visit our website, carolinaweek.org.
And after offering all that help, maybe you need a little break. On any given day, senior marshals are out in the pit doing something for the senior class. This week, they've outdone themselves with a 3-for-1 setup. To the tune of funky French music, you can stop in and contribute to the senior campaign, buying your senior t-shirt or button, and most importantly, enjoy mocktails made of Kool-Aid. These mocktails and fancy-dressed poster wavers are trying to get seniors to come out to our semi-formal this Thursday night at Spice Street as we all get ready for our final semester at UNC. And we're joined now by weathercaster John Boyer.
So John, it seems pretty early for it to be winter. I thought that's supposed to come in December.
Right, winter doesn't start until December, but we are done with the snow flurries for now, although it's going to get colder before it gets warmer. As you're walking around campus, you may want to bundle up some even more the next few days. I'll have your forecast coming up after the break.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle. The circle that helps this circle by recycling trash. We sort glass, plastic, separate cans, stack newspapers and magazines. Now, thanks to us, there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. This cereal box wants your Sunday paper. These paper clips, in a more daring life, a 56 convertible. The circle works like this. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from or packaged in recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. It looks like this. Make a mental note. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free shopping guide. Environmental Defense, finding the ways that work.
Hey guys. Ooh, I've been looking for that. Has legal seen this?
Yeah. Cheryl, what happened to your,
Oh, yeah, I know. If it gets any worse, I'll have it checked out.
Worse? How could it get worse?
Yeah, maybe we should call somebody?
I'm fine.
You wouldn't ignore this, so why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost.
And welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm forecaster John Boyer with a look at your cold forecast. Now, the first thing we mentioned right before the break is that the snow showers and flurries we saw throughout the region yesterday, they're definitely done for now. But it leaves behind some frigid temperatures during the nighttime hours and also clear and dry conditions. We won't be looking at any rainfall through the weekend. We start out by taking a look at the national satellite and radar map. These patches of green over the Great Lakes, New York, Michigan, that's falling in the form of some snowfall, lake effect snow. And the cloud cover coming with it, it's only reaching the mountains, so we're clear and dry right now over North Carolina, beautiful skies. The national surface map shows us that all those snow showers, it's in conjunction with an area of low pressure with a little bit of a cold front behind it. And that cold front is going to be coming in our direction tomorrow. You see it's passed through by this time in the evening, bringing cold temperatures for the day on Friday. But look, no rainfall with this, so this is going to be just purely a cold front, not a rainy cold front. All right, let's take a look at some of the snowfall totals that we got in the mountains from Monday's snow event. 2 inches at Mount Mitchell, it's the highest point in the state. 4 inches in Lansing up in Ashe County in the northwestern corner of the state. Our friends up at Virginia Tech received an inch of snow. Quinwood, West Virginia, they got the highest one-day total from this, 17 inches. That's more than a foot. And I included Snowshoe Mountain on here, 39 inches. That's not what they got on Monday and Tuesday. That's what they're up to right now. So they'll be opening the ski resort at Snowshoe Mountain on Friday because they have plenty. Also, let's mention Raleigh. The airport recorded a trace of precipitation. Now, normally when you think we got snow in November, are we going to have a snowy year? That's probably not the case because when you go back and look at the record, years that got snow in November, there's about an even chance of whether you're going to be below average or under average or above average in the upcoming years, upcoming months after the year. So it's going to be a wait and see game for whether this is going to be a snowy year. So let's say you're traveling around the country, getting an early start to your Thanksgiving travel because it's going to be busy next week. Newark, New Jersey, 41 and partly cloudy, or let's say you're smart and headed down to Florida, 76. Whereas Chicago will be the cold spot, 37 and clear with some snow on the ground, and Texas will be 64 and partly cloudy. Everybody's concerned about the forecast for the big rivalry game, UNC at NC State, Saturday at noon. Temperatures 42, but with some light winds out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour, the wind chill is going to feel about 38 degrees, even colder when you're tailgating, but by the time the fourth quarter rolls around, maybe mid to upper 40s. Now tonight, our low is expected to be about 27 degrees. Now that's not record territory. We'd have to get down to 15 for that, but it is below average. And tomorrow's high is also below average, but nowhere near the record of 79 degrees. So your 4-day forecast for Chapel Hill and the Triangle shows those temperatures tomorrow still holding at 53. Then the cold stuff comes in for Friday with breezy conditions and temperatures going down to 44 degrees. Nighttime lows in the lower 20s after that point for Saturday and Sunday, and then maybe warming up a little for Sunday, 50 degrees.
Wow, John, that's pretty chilly. You know, I'm a little disappointed to hear we're not getting snow, but maybe it's a good thing, because I don't know about you guys, but when I think snow, I think winter break. That's going to throw off my concentration for finals, so probably not a good idea.
Yeah, and I have to start getting my snow gear to get together. You know, it's starting to get really cold out. Yeah. I got my snow cap ready, got my parka, got my snow boots. So it looks like it's going to be a long winter. Thanks for joining us, John.
Well, I still like a good snowball fight, so I have my hopes up.
All right, John Boyer here with the weather forecast. Thank you very much. All right. As cold as it is, you might be interested in inside entertainment. Chelsea Moody tells us an exhibit at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences is drawing crowds, the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Archaeologists discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls, handwritten copies of the Bible, in caves near Qumran in jars like these.
These sacred texts of the Jewish and Christian faiths were lost for over 2,000 years. After their discovery in 1947, the texts were unavailable to the general public for 44 years, until 1991.
Scholars have identified remnants of more than 900 scrolls, and 12 of these scrolls are here on display.
It's just an amazing thing to have because we have in this museum right now some of the oldest copies of the Bible that are in existence.
You can explore a model of the excavation site, learn the Hebrew and Greek alphabet, fill papyrus and parchment paper, and see the scrolls with translations and explanations.
It's truly amazing that we're allowed to see such influential documents.
Only one museum at a time is able to exhibit the scrolls.
So, in other words, if you want to see them, you have to come here or you have to take a trip to Israel. And I think it's a whole lot cheaper for people to come to Raleigh from Chapel Hill or from the surrounding area than it would be to take a trip all the way to Jerusalem.
Tickets for the exhibit are $22 for adults and $16 for students. In Raleigh, I'm Chelsea Moody, Carolina Week.
The exhibit will last until after Christmas, so you still have more than a month to go to check it out. Now we're joined by Walter Storholt, hopefully breaking down sports for us. And what a day it was yesterday, Walter.
Yeah, and even if some students didn't get out to go see the basketball game, they might have bumped into some stars on campus. Is that right?
You're absolutely right. Hubert Davis was on campus. Ashley Judd. I'm sure I'm missing a few there, but yeah, what a fun day for folks on campus, and a good day in sports. You could certainly say that. And normally at this point, I would say something witty to get you pumped up about the sports report, but today that honor goes to a guy who needs a little pub.
Hey, Carolina Week Sports is coming up next. It'll be awesome, baby.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Let's go, man.
Hello, ladies.
Can you imagine your life without animals? Here at the Durham Animal Shelter, we can't. So come see us. Your new best friend is already expecting you.
Let's give it a shot. You can do it this time. I gotta get a real dog.
Awaken your creativity. Do your thing at the Art School at the Art Center in Carborough.
Monday night's game against Kentucky wasn't Tyler Zeller's strongest showing, and with only a couple of minutes left in the game, it took a turn for the worse for Zeller. Watch here, Zeller goes up for the basket, but the Kentucky player collides with him. Let's see that again. There it is. Zeller gets bumped just hard enough to knock him down. Zeller goes down hard and stays down. When he does finally get up, he's clutching his wrist. According to national news outlets, Zeller's wrist is fractured, and that will likely keep him out the rest of the season. Besides the big guy being taken down, other big guys stepped up. The first 10 minutes were electric last night, and Deion Thompson was on fire. Check out this huge block. And Thompson just kept coming back for more and more, and the fans ate it up. He had 20 points on the night. Wayne Ellington also racked up 16 points, but he was a little quieter about it. Ty Lawson's 11 points are nothing to scoff at, and even freshman Ed Davis got to show off a little. Look at this dunk after the nice shot. Roy Williams didn't always seem pleased with his players, and they weren't pleased with themselves at all times. But as always, Dick Vitale seemed pretty happy and pretty pleased with himself, especially when he got to dance with Erin Andrews. And you can tell she loved it.
We had a fantastic first 10 or 12 minutes, and then after that, I didn't think our defense was nearly as aggressive with the intensity that we had opened the game with. But right now, it's one of those kind of things you feel really good about the win.
Back during the presidential campaigns, Ashley Judd promised to come back to UNC for a basketball game if the state went blue. Despite cheering for the wrong team, Judd made good on her promise. At the game, she did interviews, stood with the students in the risers, and then hid from kids on the risers. But, you know, she really loved the whole thing. In fact, check out this kiss, and how many college guys can say that they've gotten a kiss from Ashley Judd? I wonder if that was maybe his girlfriend in between the two. Call him a PTPer, baby! That means primetime player. Dick Vitale's back for another college basketball season, as some of you might have seen at the Carolina game. Dickie V made an appearance at the Bull's Head Bookshop to autograph his recently published book. Lines of people swirled around the student stores trying to meet the ESPN broadcaster. Some wanted to take pictures with him, and we even let a Dookie in. Vitale didn't leave without having Carolina fans show their pride on TV to the rest of college basketball nation. And the Lady Tar Heels were looking for their third victory of the season against Kennesaw State Monday. The team started hot with Sarah Tegrafenreid. Look at the three there. Later in the half, McCants gets the ball in the break and follows her own shot for the easy deuce. More transition buckets. Italy Lucas with 2 of her 16 here. Off the Martina Woods miss, Eamon McFarland cleans up the glass for 2. There's a fast break, Miller to McFarland, and the foul. The story of the night, though, was Jessica Breland, who finished with 19 points, 10 rebounds, and only 1 very close miss. Final score, Carolina 102, Kennesaw State 68. And coming off a tough loss to Maryland, the football team has a big question mark going into this week at the quarterback spot. It's been 8 weeks since TJ Yates broke his ankle against Virginia Tech, and since then, Yates has been on the sideline for the big wins and for some tough losses where things didn't quite go the way they were drawn up. Now that Yates is ready to return to action, fans are wondering whether he or Cam Sexton will lead the offense in a crucial game against NC State. The Wolfpack beat the Heels in Raleigh last year, so the Heels will be looking for payback at Kenan Stadium, no matter who takes the snaps. And while there's no decision yet, Coach Butch Davis has told the quarterbacks to be ready.
Both of you need to be prepared. We'll try to make a decision at some point later in the week and decide, who, and go back to what I said last night. The most important thing is at all positions, who gives us the best chance to win.
So, guys, we've been talking about how successful Carolina sports have been, but we've kind of had some disappointments with last week's loss and Tyler Zeller getting injured last night. So maybe we can turn things around against NC State this weekend and get back on the good news and the winning track.
Yeah, and there's several scenarios out there that could still get us into the ACC championship for football, Walter.
We need a little luck. Keep your fingers crossed.
We will. Thanks so much, Walter. Have you ever wondered what happens to the homecoming king and queen after they win the crown?
You know what, believe it or not, I do. But coming up, we'll show you that it's the beginning of a year of hard work.
Jeremy Call, and I made suction tires. Wait, I used a rivet gun to connect the suction cups, and then I just connected it to the tire. I got the idea from an octopus because of the suction cups, and I don't know.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your invention at inventnow.org.
Get moving. See what a 10% weight loss can do for you.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Every little girl dreams of winning that homecoming crown.
Well, I'm sure, and Sarah Moore tells us that at UNC, getting the title homecoming queen is actually a lot of hard work.
The 2008 homecoming queen is Jeremy Cronin.
And his queen, senior American Studies major Meredith Martindale. After a hard-fought campaigning process, both candidates agree that winning the title is an honor.
Actually, as I walked out onto the field, I looked at my mom and said, "Mom, why did I do this? Mom, why did I do this? Let's go, let's go. I don't want to do this." And then I kind of just took it for all it's worth.
It's just such an honor to represent the university and to serve our wonderful school in this way.
A large part of being homecoming king or queen at UNC is doing a service project to help people in the area. This year, both candidates are helping children at local schools. Krauthamel is holding a gang prevention seminar for teachers in Durham County schools. Martindale's project reaches across the globe.
My service project was a pen pal program that connects Chapel Hill public school students with students at an international school in Tanzania.
Along with the hard work, the king and queen do get some perks.
I've met lots of new friends. Lots of people on campus have said hi and congratulated me.
Also gave us each a class ring, and I've always wanted a class ring.
My favorite thing so far, I think, has been being guest coaches at the women's basketball game.
And for Krauthamel, the crown and sash are good for one other thing.
I absolutely wear my crown around my house, and I dance in my underwear in it, and my sash.
For UNC's king and queen, the view from the top is sweet. In Chapel Hill, I'm Sarah Moore, Carolina Week.
And what else is there to do with a crown and sash, right? That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.